Yes, so hi everyone. So today we have Aleem Yoosuf. So he is a research scholar at Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment. And he has been working upon invasives for a long time. He is part of Malabar Botanical Garden and Institute for Plant Science at Calicut. Uh, Plant Science as well. He's an alumnus of Central University of Kerala. He is a co-founder of TBERC, which stands for Tropical Biodiversity Action and Research Center. So he has been actively, working on the fronts of invasiveness, how to deal with it, taking sessions and creating awareness on how and what impacts does invasives cause on the planet. So over to you, Ali. Thank you for joining.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Today we are discussing about some important thread that is invasive species. Today I focus on was plan or so
Alim, your
saying
voice is breaking a little bit. Can you maybe turn your video
what?
off and then speak? Your audio is breaking a little bit.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah, better, little bit.
Okay. So from invasive species, most of the I am saying or it won't be based on species.
Alim,
So
sorry to interrupt. You are still breaking a little bit. I
okay.
hope it's breaking for others as well. Not sure.
Is for everyone?
Uh,
Yeah, the audio is
Everyone
not
please.
clear. It's breaking. Yeah, it's not clear.
Hello. Can
it's still breaking. Yes.
the thing is that mm, hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, now we can hear.
Okay, so we are let me start. Okay, so I am focusing on invasive plant species. So most of the thing what I am trying to discuss will be about invasive plant species. So uh, uh, yeah, okay, so here you can see a ornamental fish. This is a golden fish. So my question is, what is the maximum size a goldfish can attain? So in our locality or in our pond or in our glass tank, the most of the maximum size of a goldfish can attain will be up to 3 or 4 or maximum 10 centimeter. So just look into this. This is the best example for bioinvasion. So we can say that if any organism or any species, if they are coming to a biodiversity or in an ecosystem beyond a restricted zone, they can acquire most of the resources and it may impact the biodiversity or economic of the area. So we can discuss about the bioinnovation. But so bioinnovation is a refers to introduction or establishment of non-native species into an ecosystem that outcompete the native species. As the name suggests, they are biological threat. They are coming from beyond the native zone, and they can threat to the native ecosystem. You can see that lantana camera is an example for invasive plant and red-eyed turtle, otherwise red-eyed slider. They are an example for invasive plants. So, what is biological innovation? It is introduction and establishment of a particular species beyond the native range, and they
Understanding the
are
technological innovations.
what?
No, please continue.
Okay. So some become invasive. That means all invasive species are not all exotic species are not invasive species. Most of the ornamental species or fruits, they are exotic species, but they are not invasive species. Invasive species is a subset of exotic species where they adversely affect the ecosystem of new range. So why it is important? Because they are threat to biodiversity and the ecosystem stability, and they may cause health hazards, and they exacerbates the climate change. So we will discuss this coming slides. So the most of the some characters that support the invasive species for surviving in a new locality. So their soil, their an ability to acquire the resource, biological resource or organic resource than the native species. So how do invasive species invade new habitat? Because they have a high reproductive rate. In the case of tropical ecosystem like India, the most of the invasive plant species that become invasive are from Asteraceae or Poaceae family because they have a high reproductive rate and they are resilient to environmental changes and rapid dispersion because their propagules, especially the seeds are very small, so they can disperse frequently and they can disperse to vast areas and they can suppress the growth of other native species using phytochemicals, particularly known as allelochemicals. Allelochemicals are the compounds; they are phytochemicals that can control the growth of surrounding species. That's why it is called allelochemicals. This phenomenon is called allelopathy. It is a particular or characters features of invasive plant. They can alter the composition of soil composition nutrient cycle, and the main threat is the lack of natural predators. In their native range, there will be a natural predator that can control the growth and dispersal of these species. But in a newly ecosystem, they lack the natural predator. This is the main issue. So just consider two different ecosystem with a geographical barrier. So the thing is that most of the invasive species they are traveling through the low latitude because, for example, most of the especially in the case of plants, most of the species that are invaded in Indian ecosystem are native to either Africa or tropical America, means Latin America, because we have the similar latitude. So similar latitude means similar geographical area. So these invasive species get introduced a new ecosystem. It is highly diverse. So what happened is that they established and they colonized. So here start the invasion. So invasion means it is against biodiversity. There is no diversity, only homogenization of a single or similar species. So why this is happening? In the case of spreading invasive plant species, because especially in the case of Lantana camera, the thing is that the seeds are dispersed by the birds. So this is the main issue of invasive species. And the second thing is that in the case of plants, most of the invasive species are having seeds, but some species they are vegetatively reproducing, so they can spread vegetatively. In the case of water hyacinth, we can come to it later. So, what are the causes of bioinnovation? The first cause is global trade and transport, especially in the recent century. The global trade has enhanced. Similarly, these passengers or ships or these transportation vehicles, they become a carrier for these propagules, invasive plants propagules. Especially, even the our rail system also contributed to the dispersion of invasive plant propagules and horticulture, agriculture, pet trade. Especially the precursor of bioinnovation, especially in the case of plant, the construction of Royal Botanic Garden at the Kolkata, it is the precursor or the starting point of plant innovation in India because they brought many ornamental plants to India, but they become invasive. Even the climate change. The thing is that especially in my locality, wherever there is a bare land, the first plant that will be coming into that new area will be in for the last 2 years. It is our Mimosa diplodocus, especially the Anathotta body, commonly called Anathotta body, and infrastructure development also contribute to this, and natural causes, especially natural dispersal, disturbance, and extreme events. Especially in the last 5 years, in the case of Kerala, we are experiencing heavy downpour and heavy rain. Those areas that affected with the landslides, we can see that there is a emergence of invasive species to large scale. So human activities also contributing to invasive species, agriculture and forestry. So this is the thing. I'm just skipping. So why important? Why bioinnovation is an important issue? Some papers are saying that there is a loss of 4 to 8% of GDP due to bioinnovation. So ecological impacts include biodiversity loss. Invasive species can outcompete the native species. So what happening is that there is no biodiversity. These invasive species can acquire the resource as speeds than native species. So there is no time. So they are outcompete these native species. So they are invading new ecosystem. So what you can see is a water hyacinth affected water body. So they become the cause of habitat modification. Especially recently, there is an invasive species that came to India. That is an you might have heard about Malayangoana. So my friend Gunesuddin is working on that. The thing is that these after the invasion of these particular species in the Kutanad area, the ecosystem changed, the habitat also changed. Some species, especially some migratory birds, are there, and some otter, like otter and other aquatic or semi-aquatic or amphibian-like species are there. The thing is that even the child cannot play in front of the uh, courtyard of the family of the house. The thing is that these type of species are coming to this ecosystem that has invaded with the Malay Hanguana. So it affects the habitat, it affects even their culture too. So disruption ecological processes, we can get to that, and increased disease transmission is also an issue of yeah, invasive species, and economic impacts of bioinnovation growth agriculture, because I have done this experiment last year. Even the alternative species, they can reduce the growth, even the root length, shoot length, and leaf area of legumes. And in the case of forestry, we can discuss with example. So what you can see in the screen is Kabamba furcata invasion in Calicut for the last 3 years. Kabamba furcata invasion, but you can see that it's a very pinky color question, but it is a heavily invasive species. And the thing is that it blocks the flow of the canals, and not only they reduce the
Magan,
disorder.
No, please continue.
Okay. So social impact. So we will discuss it later. So this is the vegetation system in India. You can see that these are invasive plant percentage cover. This was done by Mungetal in 2022. So this was done with 1 kilometer square for it. So this is the situation. You can see that invasive plants are affecting especially tropical ecosystem, especially the deciduous or mean most ecosystem. So this is a comparison of inverted and non-inverted ecosystem. First, you can see a grassland. It is an inverted, not inverted ecosystem, and the second one is inverted ecosystem. So this is the issue of invasive plant species. These all are Uninverted ecosystem. These are inverted ecosystem. So this is the situation in India, the present situation of India. Okay, why India is vulnerable to attack by alien species? Because first one is high biodiversity and suitable climate. We know that India, the most of the part of India is tropical ecosystem. Otherwise, we have two monsoons. So our biodiversity is very suitable for invasion of alien species. And we quarantine biosecurity measures. We might have heard this quarantine, the term only after the COVID pandemic. Quarantine means we are just what to say? Ah, Quarantine is the technique first used to control the import of species, including plants or animals. So we have in India we have no such a regulation for quarantine. So it is a issue. Especially we will be discussing about the red-eyed turtle. It is also a issue with the weak quarantine system in India and lack of institutional monitoring. We have a particular institution to monitor import and export or import of these species. And economic and ecological impacts, and we will be discussing about this. So for the last 15 years in India, we have witnessed at least 10 invasion, especially pest or weed attack. These are some of them. So in India, the 2/3 of the Indian ecosystem are threatened by invasive plant species. So we'll be discussing about it. So these are the biodiversity hotspots. We know that we have 4 biodiversity hotspots. So, so I am discussing about the mostly invasive species in India, especially 4 species. Prosopis juliflora. We know that this is especially seen in arid zone of India. So the native range is here. So they invaded these areas. So some of the areas are get nationalized. So that's what I said earlier. These invasive species they travel through latitude. So this is a work done using NDVA. One in 1992, 2000, 2010. This much growth having happened here. So there are also contributed to the water scarcity. The second one is Parthenium. You might have heard this. This cause allergic responses, especially for me. It was just something a dietary person. But if a person came beside this may cause suffocation or many other other allergic issues. So, particularly this is not in Kerala. But nowadays, land I could see in the wide, especially Calcutta town area, this, but it is seen in the also in the other fingers. This is the issue. You can see a letter here. So the Parthenia infested area. Yeah, I think this is from Bandipur Tiger Reserve. The thing is that they are Asteraceae family, so they have 2 type of flower. So within a single inflorescence, they have numerous small flowers. In the case of lantana, the issue is with you get
In
a pair of
your
tears.
presentation is stuck. It's stuck from Parthenia.
What about now?
Yes. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay.
Recording in progress.
One minute. Am I audible now?
Yeah, perfect. Good.
Okay. I'm just connecting through my phone. Okay. So we are talking about lens camera. So this is the situation in the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. All the land is covered with lens camera, and the issue with lens camera is that they can be a tree-like habit, or they can be a climber-like habit. So the thing is that just imagine a leopard or a deer who are living here. How can a leopard can chase a deer from this area? So this situation with lendana. So these are the suitable ecosystem that can be embedded with lendana camera. So nowadays the thing is that some NGOs came forward, especially the tree, they came forward for the suitable utilization of these invasive species, invasive plant, because they have a bark which is very suitable for making this type of furnitures. So other cases, Acornia classicus. So this is a situation, Acornia, it is very, very ornamental violet flower. So this photo was taken by myself last week. This is from Kuttana region, this Changanasheri Alappuzha road. The thing is that the canal is fully covered with this iconoclasticus. Just imagine, this is a canal. This is also a water body from the same district, but there is no invasion. But here it is invaded with this water has this iconoclasticus. So these are the situation. So the other thing is that Senna spectabilis. So Senna spectabilis, otherwise called Cassia spectabilis. Just this is very ornamental, but the thing is that the situation in Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. So this much they get invaded this much from the last 5 years. So the major issue of man-animal conflict in Wayanad is the infestation of Senna spectabilis. You can see that the Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is not connected, but it is connected through Nagrol Tiger Reserve, Bandipur Tiger Reserve and all. So during the summer season, especially the elephant, even the tiger, they are migrating to Wayanad, because in that time the whole area will be hot or warm condition. So these in summer season, Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary has to feed these all animals. The thing is that these much areas covered with invasive species Senna spectabilis. So even these are the result from some work. So they could see the propagules or seeds of Senna spectabilis from the fecal mass of these wild animals. So what you can see beside this elephant is a Senna spectabilis. So this is a corridor of elephant especially during the summer season. they are coming from Karnataka or Nagarhole National Park to Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary. These areas now infested with these Senna spectabilis. So this is the situation. These all light green species are the light green plants are these Senna spectabilis. This photo was taken by myself in the last year. So this is a pond inside a wild. Wild means in Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary there is I think 17 wilds are there. Wilds means that our paddy feel like marshy or lowland area compared to other area. So in that area we could see grassland. In grassland we could see herbivore. In grassland we could see carnivore that will be hunting the herbivore. The thing is that these grasslands are now infested with these Senna spectacles. Other tree eucalyptus. So we are saying that we forest. Most of the forest actually forest plantations. Consider the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Most of the area is take plantation, actually forest. Even these restricted for these investments negatively to the biodiversity. So the other thing is that these are taken by so
Aleem,
but invasive.
presentation is stuck again.
Okay. Okay. So in a plant, there might be some new branch might have arranged. But in these Senna spectabile, I count up to 2 branches arise from a single cut. These are from a single plant itself. It can a small forest. Is it
Yes, you are visible, but audio is also breaking a little bit.
okay? So it wildlife and actually the Wayanad, especially Wayanad area, as the report says, it is not of Kerala geography. The geography of Kerala, the border of Kerala with Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, mostly that boundary is the peak of the Western Ghats. But coming to the Wayanad, Wayanad is a part of Deccan Plateau. So the warm winds are coming from the Deccan Plateau to the Wayanad, and Wayanad is presently there. It is affected with the climate change. We can see that a lot of symbols of climatic changes are there in Wayanad, especially in the case of agriculture or biodiversity. So if we visit Wayanad, we can see that the Wayanad altogether there is a problem with the invasive plant species. So even during the summer season, this area is
Aleem, the presentation is still not changing. Stuck with that same photo.
wait. Okay. So this is the situation with the Senna spectabilis. So presently we have no any other mechanism to control this other than this, just cutting the bark. But natural hills, especially the Kerala government had contributed for more than 40 crores for the restoration of these invasive plants and spectabilis infested area. But in the last month, we could see that one particular pinhole borer, they can affect this Senna spectabilis, especially their bark, and they got the dryness of this Senna spectabilis. So the present issue with this problem is that they may cause wildfire. So I am just discussing of the invasive plants of India. So these are some of the invasive plants of India. So I am not just going to that. So this is a Veteria tridobeta or Cyantrica tridobeta. This is very invasive in the case of Kerala or tropical ecosystem. This is regarded as one of the mostly invasive species as per IUCN. Most invasive 100 species by IUCN. Ultramdira, Lexaciana. Though these are very common in southern Western Ghats, this also negatively affecting our agriculture. Agriculture actinopora, agriculture condyzoids, amaranthus. I'm just going through some of the invasive species. These are part of our garden. Caladium. These species are used for in order to cover the plantation, especially rubber plantation. Cathanandrus, Sinathera punctuatum, Restrum, Bromlina aurata, Micronic fanita. These species are commonly seen in, especially in the case of southern Kerala, in Tirunelveli, Kollam districts. Tetura, Euphorbia atrophida, Romfrina, Heliconia, Ipchis. This is a part of the Lamiaceae. This is a member of the Lamiaceae family. Hypomia species. Jatropha, Tendana. Most of the invasive species seen in a tropical ecosystem are either member of Asteraceae, Poaceae, or Fabaceae family. In the case of Fabaceae, they have storage capacity, especially in the case of temperature. They can tolerate high temperature. Mycenia. This also presently infesting the Western Ghats. The peculiarity of this species is that this species can be seen everywhere in the Western Ghats, up to all elevation. In the case of Veteria, they are not at all seen in the high elevation of Western Ghats. Mimosa diplodocus, what I said, actually Mimosa diplodocus is also called Anatotavadi. Penicillin polystation, size angulata. Pteridium. This is not angiosperm. This is a fern. Acacia. Senna species. Cinderella nodiflora is commonly seen in Kerala. Paradox procumbens. So eradication, we can't use any mechanical or any chemical eradication method because it may affect any other species. So this photo was taken from Karimbio Wildlife Sanctuary of Nelangor. So manual removal is the best technique to remove invasive species. Other thing is that the reforestation or restoration, we have to restore these plant. Restoration and reforestation is two different terms. So we have to restore this plant. The second is a mechanical control. This is suitable in the case of water bodies. Biological control, what we saw last in the case of Senna spectabilis. So biological control is a suitable method, but the thing is that new species that we are introducing to control a particular species, that too should be a native species. Chemical control, herbicide, it is not suitable for the case of ecosystem. It may harm other species. Integrated pest management is a suitable for invasive species, but the result is not up to our intention. So restoration, replanting. So we should restore and replant. If we remove an invasive species, another species will be invaded there. So we should restore. So this thing. So from invasive species nowadays, some furnitures or some other products are producing. So these are some products from invasive species. So this is a photo from Wayanad. So how can we control the invasive species? We can control invasive plant species only through regulation and awareness. So this was a awareness program conducted by MS Swamy Research Foundation, Biodiversity Wayanad for the tribal community of Sugandhari last year. These are some of the question and invasive education program in Nelangor. So coming invasive species,
Your video is, your presentation has stuck again.
so during the flood, staging, no? Okay, wait. So during the flooding season, what happens is that fish, ornamental fish ponds and other exotic species won't get mixed with the natural water bodies. So these species could escape from their controlled system to a natural body. So this is not edible. This is sucker fish. And other one is the giant African snail. So they are also contributing ecosystem loss. Just imagine shell of this.
Your presentation is still not changing. Yeah, now it's changed. Okay, fine. Continue.
Okay. So just imagine the shell of this snail. It is we know that the shell is made of calcium carbonate. Just imagine these much calcium carbonate is reducing from the soil. So it will affect the agriculture or the ecological composition of the soil. So this also contributing ecological loss, and it also causing the threat to carbon plantation in the Idukki district of Kerala. So this is a situation. Another invasive species in Kerala is red-eared turtle. During the COVID time, uh, this was sold in our market. This was a small, what to say, it can be just placed in our palm. But within 3 or 4 months, it can enlarge up to a big turtle. And we usually say after out of our control, we will just throw it into our ecosystem. So this also harmful, and some experts say that this is this species can be considered as a reservoir of bacteria. We know that bat is a reservoir of virus like that. This turtle can be regarded as a reservoir of bacteria. So climate change also contribute to the invasive species dissemination. So this alien invasive species or bioinvasion is regarded as a second threat to biodiversity after habitat destruction. This can lose the GDP up to 4 to 8% of the global GDP lost by invasive alien species, including plants and animals. So this is the thing. So if you have any doubt or like that, just this time is open for discussion.
Yes, that was an excellent presentation. So if anyone has any doubts, please unmute and ask or put your question in the chats. Feel free to unmute if you have.
I have a request, if you could visit Wayanad, you should visit the Wayanad, because we can see the issue with the climate change. Management conflict is there, invasive plant invasion is there. So if you could visit Wayanad, everyone should visit that area.
Okay, Aleem, there is a question in chat. What can I do to stop the spread of invasive species?
The first thing is that if you, in front of you, there are two things. Just imagine one plastic is there, one invasive species, invasive plant or animal is there. So the first thing you should remove should be invasive species. That's the thing. Because in European countries, there is a campaign after the flooding season. There is a campaign in order to eradicate the invasive species from the riparian zone, river basin. So river basin, I am working on riparian vegetation, invasive plant infestation through the riparian vegetation. So in European countries, what they are doing is that there is a campaign in order to remove these invasive species after flooding, because during the flooding season, these riparian zones or water bodies act as a pathway for invasive species spreading. So this is the first thing, is that we should remove invasive species from our surrounding. After the flood, 2019 flood, I am from Nilambur. So 3 years back, that Vadidia trilobite I could see in my field. 2 years back, it is visible in front of my junction. Last year, it came to in front of my house. So this year, it will be invaded to my plot. So through the water bodies, because I am saying means this water is coming from the junction to in front flowing through in front of my house. So these waters is act as a pathway for floral invasion. So if we could see any invasive species, we could remove it first. The second one, if any invasive species is a part of our garden, we should remove it, because beyond aesthetic sense, it is very harmful to our ecosystem. This is a personal thing. Personally, we can do these similar like works and we need community uh, the community work like universities plan eradication program, and our authorities can do many things, including implementation of regulation for invasive species, especially in the game animals. Just imagine beyond invasive species, imagine how nature in our city. Just in native breed dog with imported or just use dogs. Just in what will be the progeny? Progeny it is what have the total capacity of native breed dogs, and they will be aggressive. We need regulation in order to control these invasive parents animal.
Okay, so that answered most of it. I hope it was clear, Austin. Okay, let's move to the next question. So there is this question asking that island pinhole borer that you showed, that was the management for Senna spectabilis, but does it attack any other species or bores into their bark?
Pardon? I couldn't hear. Can I just type?
Yeah, it is typed in the chats. So the question is, you showed not the pinhole borer for Senna spectabilis, the small insect. So does it attack any other species and bores into their bark or not? You are on mute.
Yeah, these species particularly affecting these Senna spectabilis barks only. This was just identified like that. The forest official just informed Kerala Forest Research Institute scientists that some Senna spectabilis Senna spectabilis trees are drying up. So just examine. They just observe these Senna spectabilis trees. What could they could identify that some these particular borer is just infesting these trees barks. So, and the thing is that after infection, these infection cause a spreading of a particular fungus throughout this bark. So that fungus cause the drying of these Senna spectabilis. So, and the second thing is that this pinhole borer is a native to India. So there is no other threat.
Okay, great. Okay, so
Okay.
next question is, what are the mitigation or control measure for apple snail and water hyacinth, maybe African snail?
African snail. Oh, so I don't know the control measure for African snail, but water hyacinth we should frequently eradicate, especially water hyacinth is freely floating, so it can reach anywhere during the flooding. So we need a continuous eradication program in order to control this water hyacinth. The thing is that these all are, especially water hyacinth is vegetatively reproducing, so they can reach anywhere. And the second thing is that last week I was in Kuttanad. So one of the native farmer from Kuttanad says that uh, uh, after the arrival of saline water in the Kuttanad, you might have heard about Kuttanad is the one of the two location that lay under the sea level. So during the summer season, these saline water will be entered to this Kuttan region. But there is a Tanyamukam bund, in order to restrict this saline water entry to the Kuttanad. But that farmer says that we should allow the entry of saline water into the Kuttanad. Then only these species, including the water hyacinth, can dry with this saline water. So nature has its own healing mechanism, I think. So he says that during it is usually this Tanyamukham one should open during April 1st, but till it is not open. So if it is open April 1st, there will be 2 months. This saline water will be covered with this Kuttad ecosystem will be covered with the saline water for the 2 months. So in this 2 months, this water acid will be dried up.
Okay, so the next question is, how good is awareness regarding ornamental invasive species in recent days?
The thing is that Kerala State Biodiversity Board, they are planning to regulate the private gardens, because especially I am from Malabar Botanical Garden. It is a botanical garden under KCST, Kerala government, but there are some species that may be invaded in future. So we need a regulation for these things, and the awareness is very important. Just imagine, I have just go through some of the invasive plants. These are a part of our even the cosmos. It was a part of my garden. So the first thing is that we should. The first is awareness, and the second thing is that we should move in action oriented. I don't know much about the Inaturalist or
So I'll reply to that. So naturalist is, you can mark it as invasive or not. You can put it in the annotations. If you press exclamation, or you can search it, you can mark as invasive. And I'll send you a link in the chat itself. So that's how work has been already been doing on iNaturalist with respect to invasive species monitoring works. So I hope that helps it. Okay, so coming to the next question. Is the complete removal of invasive species like lantana possible in regions like Bandipur, as it is very aggressive and can regenerate?
Yeah, complete removal of lantana. The thing is that we need much human resource, because only the manual removal is possible in the case of natural ecosystem. And in the case of Tamil Nadu, they are working on that. I don't know about the Karnataka. So we need much more contribution, especially financial contribution to this. In the case of Senna spectabilis infestation in Wayanad, Kerala government last year in 2023 or 24, they have contributed 43 crores for the restoration purpose. So it should be a continuous process. Then only we can achieve our goal.
Okay, great. So next question is, seems a little bit complex. If the native animal species are already co-evolved with invasive plant species, then will they be still considered as invasive species? Like, I think reference to the butterflies shifting their host plants from native to invasive species.
I don't know much about that. The thing is that once an invasive species is not always an invasive species. They may naturalized. For example, Lantana camera presently it is not regarded as invasive species, it's a naturalized species. So I don't know much about the animal part. Nice question. The question is
Okay,
okay.
right. So the next one is members of Asteraceae and Mimosa family, Fabaceae. Their inflorescences are umbel and globose, which means a lot of flowers are held together, resulting in invasiveness. So would there be any genetic manipulation to eradicate it in some sense?
The thing is that invasive species, in the case of invasive plant species, if they are coming to a natural beyond their, just imagine invasive species, they came to our locality. They are not invasive in that area, because they have natural predators, and they have phytochemicals. All species, whether it is invasive or native, all species have their own allelochemical. They are just producing some allelochemicals in order that adversely affect the other species. The thing is that other species also have similar allelochemical, so they will grow in a balanced form. When an invasive species came to a new locality, they have an advantage. They have any particular advantage like vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction, or they have a particular allele chemical that cannot be overcome. That cannot be overcome by native species. So they are getting an advantage in a particular ecosystem. So they are growing. So this is like a evolution. But the thing is that during the last century, similar to our climatic change, these species are these invasive species are getting much favorable in a new locality, so they are just invading. Just imagine some species native to India, they are invasive to other area, but they are not native in our area because though they have allele chemical, the other species also have allele chemical that can nullify the effect of these species. But if these species are going to another locality, they are producing the same allele chemical, but the native species in that area they have no allele chemical or chemical to overcome the effect of these allele chemical. We have Himalayan balsam and even the mahogany is becoming inverse in some locality, and uh, our myna, it is commonly native to in our locality. They are becoming invasive in Israel, and our doves. Doves are invasive in Arabian countries, especially Saudi Arabia. Now only they are just studying about this. Then they could identify that these species were invasive in that locality. So the Arabian countries, especially the GCC countries, are they are working on invasive species nowadays. After the 2020, they are working on this invasive avian species. So this thing.
Right. So if you have any more doubt, do ask. If not, maybe we can wind up. Does anyone have any more questions?
Hello, Aleem.
Hello.
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 Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
This is Deepak. Actually, I wanted to ask two things. One is that Epotorium is also an invasive species, right, sir?
Eupatorium.
Epotorium.
Eupatorium means which species?
Epotorium, there are many species, subspecies in there.
Eupatorium, its new name is Formalina.
Okay.
There are two or three species, I think so, in India. But that how it is helping for herbivores is in summer season, no? All the herbivores are nesting or breeding under the rearing under this Epotorium only. But other parts of the forest area, no, that was the completely open area. So this Epotorium is completely helping in summer seasons for these herbivores. If you remove the completely the whatever the Epotorium or lantana something, no, it will directly affecting the herbivores population also.
So okay. So what is your questions? You're just sharing the idea or
It's my observation. What I observed in
okay.
the field.
Okay. I have a similar observation that the Vetilia tridobeta. Just I was my brother-in-law is as a farmer. He has a farm. He has some cattle farm also. So he just informed me that the Vetilia tridobeta. This is this contribute to the this can enhance the leaves of Vetilia tridobeta can enhance the milk, the amount of milk of cattle. So, so what we need is an awareness. You said an issue, but the correct solution for that issue is not commonly not right or this antenna camera. We should restore. We should restore similar native plants in that locality.
What if you consider 100% of result, around 70 to 80% of the scientists or the forest people used to say this is not needed for the forested area. So if they want to remove it, no, it will completely affect on the herbivores population and indirectly to the food chain that is the dependent on carnivores, no.
Yeah, one of the person says about the lantana camera infrastructure. This is the issue. We should need a continuous means if we are just considering just imagine we are considering 5 acre of land. Just this year, we should focus on 1 or 2 acre of land. We should restore. After that, we should move to other area. Complete
because I
restoration in a
have why
particular
I
area
come
will
to this
cause this type
uh,
of issue.
why I come to this question. No, I have separated the area into different zones. Like one is with the bamboo, separate. One is with the lantana and what is that? Epotorium. One is with the natural forest, that is thick also, which is semi-evergreen or evergreen forest.
Okay.
In between, what I have compared is whatever the I get that herbivore population that is residing, no, that is highest in the Epotorium region, not in the natural forest, not in the bamboo bush or something. No, that first people also used to do the plantations also. There I haven't get that much of richness. That what is that herbivores population, but in Epotorium, whatever is there, no, there I get the highest and rich population in the summer season especially. So this is helping in the summer seasons. What's my concern is this towards the herbivores.
Okay. The thing is that if though this is helpful for herbivore, just imagine about carnivore in the view of carnivore. They are not getting herbivore.
What will
Even
happen? No, these carnivores will definitely they will also become less in population. No, because they used to hunt, or other people also used to hunt for the what is that herbivores. That is also there.
but just imagine if it is a lantana area, a carnivore can't chase a herbivore.
That is also there because
So,
what
so the similar case is happening in the case of Wayanad too. The thing is that there is no there is no enough this shady area. So these herbivores are coming to native means residence area. So in search of these herbivores, carnivores also coming.
No, in shady area like in the semi-evergreen even or evergreen forest, no, in all the seasons it will be like around 50 to 60% of canopy cover. There is no difference. But in open area also, how this that is Epotorium helping them to survive. That is my observation.
The thing is that we can't remove suddenly. This restoration process takes time, even decades.
Because
So,
everyone in the forest people know that forest officials, they are thinking that this Epotorium should be gone. Because in every what is that in summer season they used to do for weeding. And one thing I have observed, what is that you told, no, that hyacinth macrophytes. That is also directly helping for the aquatic animals like fishes and everything, because these macrophytes are what they are doing is they are most of the village peoples are depending on the what is that you call pond or lakes, no, nearby villages. These lakes are polluted by the what is that fertilizers, so-called nearby whatever the farmlands they have, no, farmers. Because of the influx, these wetlands are becoming accumulated by the heavy metals. So
you are
these
saying about bioaccumulation.
bioaccumulation, what these microphytes are doing, they are getting absorbing the heavy metals in the faster way. So these are indirectly helping the aquatic fauna and also the animals or the people depending on that wetland.
Yeah, what I said now, the invasive plant species, they have much
most of
stronger
the
capacity. This is one among them because they have an ability to intake the even the heavy metal thing. But the thing is that though we are saying about that because there is a problem with the biomagnification or bioaccumulation, we need natural or native species to recover this issue.
But native species don't do that much of
Just imagine
accumulation,
these
bioaccumulation.
all species are plants. Though we call them native or invasive, but in a particular ecosystem, these species get advantages. So in the case of in your locality, you said that this is a pond. it is it is mixed with this type of nutrient. I mean,
So whatever
fertilizer.
most of the macrophytes I observed, no, almost all they are exotic and invasive species, but they are doing it very well. What we are thinking the way, no?
One of my friends, she was focusing on Altandera Betsakiana. She had three publication. She was focusing on the metal, heavy metal accumulation capacity of this Altandera Betsakiana, because this Altandera Betsakiana is utilized, is a part of diet in Tamil Nadu. They are utilized as a leafy vegetable. So these all species have their own, especially in the case of all plants, have their own what to say, their own advantages. But in the case of a new ecosystem, that particular advantage get a chance in order to invade native ecosystem. But as you said, there may be any positive issues.
Positive
Totally,
issues,
they will.
because what we are doing,
Excuse me, sir. Like due to time constraint, we might need to, reduce it. You can have a communication with him over the emails. We'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I think one more person had a doubt. Maybe we can take it and then wind up.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, so it's not a doubt actually, it's just maybe an observation I made at the lab I was studying in. So there is something called as Elaginus conforta. It's a species, so it's sort of used for regeneration. So it is one species that what it does is it sort of helps the other species around it, like tries to restore thickets and increase or help the species diversity. And I think that could be also used as a sort of a bio measure when dealing with saving our native species. So this is what I conferred from what I had learned over there. Yeah, this is just an addition. I mean, it's not a doubt.
Yeah, I mean that's great. Yes. Okay then. So let's. I mean, if you have any more doubts, I'll share the contact details. You can contact him directly. So thank you, Aleem, for joining and giving us an excellent session. And I'm pretty sure, like, even though I had been to nature quite some time, but I had no idea that such a lot of plants that I see every day are invasives. So he had shown a lot of photos of invasive plants and all. This session will be recorded and will be uploaded on YouTube. So if you want to refer, maybe look at the video and pause and screenshot and look at all these plants that was shown. And yes, thank you for showing the invasiveness of what's happening, the seriousness of this issue. And let's hope that during this INET and CNC, you will observe all the invasive species nearby you, and if possible, do take a little bit of an action and help with the native flora. Thank you. Thank you, Aleem, for joining. And thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you actually for this opportunity. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Good night.